Nate, finishing today with NOLA, headed to Phoenix, game 2. Not the game that I'll be most tuned into tonight. I think we kind of know what's going on with this series. I hate to use the cliche, Suns in 4, but it does kind of feel that way, as Suns bro will probably agree. I don't know. There wasn't much to take away. My opinion on this one was kind of similar to the way I viewed Jimmy and Bam in that Heat Atlanta series, which is Booker, Chris Paul, the boys, they're kind of taking it easy on offense. They're not trying to run and gun. They're not trying to get anybody hurt. They're trying to get good shots, and they're just trying to stop the other team on defense and get boards. They actually got out rebounded a bit, definitely helped by Joe Val, as we'll talk about, going bananas on the boards. But I don't know. This is at another 10-point spread or so, another total right around 221.5. I think we need to find ways to bet this game to feel good about it. What are you looking at here, and how creative do we need to get?
Well, they don't even have a market up for the sweep anymore at FanDuel. The Suns are minus 125 or minus 260 to win by and in 5 games or fewer. I mean, this series is a wrap. The Pelicans, it's pretty known that we don't really like them, and we thought, I mean, in terms of betting on them, and we thought they definitely got lucky in this with the play and draw, and then with Paul George suddenly ruled out, and it showed in game 1. They couldn't do anything really on either ends of the floor. Like we said, with the Clippers being able to contain their only 2 options. Brandon Ingram actually had a great game because Paul George was out. But in game 1, those guys shoot 35% from the floor against Mikal Bridges and company. The Suns just so good in terms of game planning especially when you're limited in what you can do, right? And we know the Pelicans are the second worst 3-point shooting team. The Suns inviting them to shoot threes, and sure enough, they go 9 for 23 from deep. That's a recipe that will continue. The Suns limit 2-pointers. They limit shots at the rim. And the one thing you could say in the Pelicans' favor is that huge rebounding advantage, 55 to 35, with Joe Val getting a franchise playoff record, 25 rebounds, yet he's still a minus 11 in his minutes. And so was Jackson Hayes, who they decided to start. You're going to go big against Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and you're going to get punished. And Chris Paul, as we saw, just took over the game. 12 for 16 from the field, 30 points, 10 assists for a 162 offensive rating. It's his time, right? It's yeah, kid. And the Suns are going to go maybe faux is what they're thinking. No, I mean they're going to have more trouble in the next series, I'm sure, but not in this one. No. And they've been on a mission all year, obviously based on losing 4 straight to lose the finals. Yeah. Chris Paul leading this team. They've just been so efficient on both ends of the floor. I don't see any lapse here. In fact, I see positive regression for the Suns in terms of their offense and pulling away. I think you like an under with the way the Pelicans have been playing, so slow pace, but I'm a little scared of the Suns just exploding offensively because they're just so much better than this team in every facet. So I would actually lean towards the NOLA team under, which I know it's only 105.5, but I would still go under that. They scored 99 in game 1. And I don't think there's many options other than CJ and Ingram. And they're not going to be able to cook against this team. Not the way the Suns play defense. And yeah, I mean, you look at the Suns at home last year in the playoffs, they covered in 7 of 10. They allowed just 105.5 points per game, exactly where we're at. Pace down to 94.3. New Orleans will also play at that pace as they try to rest those only 2 options. But like I said, Suns offense, scary good, 122 offensive rating on the other side, scoring about 10 more points per game than the opposition. Yeah. So spreads at 10 points. I think that continues, and they cover.
Yeah, that all adds up to me. I think, the Suns are going to come out scoring. I mean, look, they had 53 in the first half, but they didn't really – I guess, put this one away just because of the fact that, they let the Pellies back in the third quarter. And I think that they want to step on their neck, to be honest, because I don't think Chris Paul wanted to have to score 19 points in the fourth quarter to put this one away. That sucked because the whole game plan was working up until that third quarter where they got outscored by 11 points and just let them back into the game. I think it was like a 7-point lead going into the fourth quarter. They really needed to be up by 15 already so that Chris Paul could play no more than 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. But instead he had to play about 9 and keep them ahead in this game. They were rolling, and part of that is on defense. That's the biggest part of it, right? They did fine on offense the entire game, really. Book had his 25, Aiden had 21. They were efficient all over the floor and getting the shots they wanted. So I do think that they can continue that sort of that offensive efficiency. It's just, are they going to, I think to your point of that 94 pace, I think that's going to continue, and I don't think it's going to get any faster. I don't think they need to have it get any faster. They own the half court on both sides of the floor, and the Pellies, their half court offense right now because of that lack of 3-point shooting is really bad, man. I mean, there's nothing else to it. They don't have 3-point shooters around CJ and Brandon Ingram the way that they need, not with Larry Nance getting time at this point. They had to play Trey Murphy too much. Devontae Graham seems like he's still hurt. I mean, he only played 10 minutes, and that's obviously the 3-point shooting that they really need. They need Herb Jones on there. Crazy to say, they need their rookie guard out there so that they can continue that defensive effort to at least hold Book to 25 points because he wasn't great from the field, but he got his. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, 8 for 19, still 4 for 8 from 3 was really what saved his efficiencies for the day, and his true shooting stayed really nice. So yeah, I mean, look, there's too much Phoenix right now. There's nothing that gives me any hope for New Orleans to be able to score, and that's why I continue to like, maybe not they're under on the team total. You would have to think they're more likely to go under on their team total, but I also do think, while you might be scared of an explosion from Phoenix, I think the only explosion to be had is that they're just going to continue to be super efficient. I think if anything, you might consider a first half over for them. And then they kind of like continue to sort of like slow that pace down and make sure that they win the third quarter, or at least keep it even in the third quarter to maintain a 12 to 15 point lead going into the fourth. I think that's got to be the discussions that Monty Williams and team are having. There's no need to go crazy and start running and gunning either when you're playing Devin Booker and Chris Paul, a combined 78 minutes in this game or so. You don't want to start running and gunning. If you're going to play them that much, it means you want them in there and you need them to be rested while they are, because this series should be a sweep and they need plenty of energy for this next round. It's going to be a decent matchup, either a Luka led Dallas team that he'll be back for that, or a Utah team that maybe you're scared of Donnie Mitchell. Either way, they're going to be faced with a tougher challenge in round 2.
Yeah, you want rest, but yeah, it's also about executing against these sort of flawed lineups that the Pelicans are throwing out there in terms of, like I said, you're going to start 2 centers against this team, or you're going to have 2 rooks out there in Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. As good as they are defensively, I think Chris Paul still showed his IQ dissecting them when he had to. And really, the more film you get, the more Chris Paul is going to burn you. And against Willie Green's Pelicans, it has been a clinic. I believe he has 17.3 assists per game his last 3 regular season meetings against the Pelicans. He's getting minus 140 to have 11 dimes tonight. Yeah, I mean, and if you do get into clutch with the Suns, yeah, it's over. But the player performance double for CP3 double is minus 115. It's never a better time to use that hack on the money line here. I mean, the Suns 32-9 straight up at home, but only 19-22 against the spread this season. Yeah. So, I mean, there is a chance, CJ and Ingram get it going a little bit despite the tough matchup and keep it under 10 points here. I wouldn't bet on it, but I think if you want to hedge your bets and say the Suns are going to win this game, maybe not by 10 points, that's a great way to get some juice there. Yeah. But yeah, I just trust CP3, and I think Booker's, like you said, he still has room to go up after shooting 8 for 19 from the field. Still had a 127 offensive rating, but the Pelicans don't have many answers for him. Nobody really does. And if CP3 wants to take a back seat, he will gladly take it over, and he doesn't need rest. He's a young buck. I mean, he's going to be fine to carry them right through this first round.
Man, yeah, where's the value in this game, dude? Like, even looking at these player performance doubles, I mean, I guess the reason I don't find the value is just because there's also the blowout factor, and the fact that you could see, a lot more time for Cam Johnson, Cam Payne. Maybe you see a bit more JaVale. I mean, there was some pretty even distribution of minutes outside of, McHale, Ayton, Booker, and Paul. And then in that fourth spot, they really rotated between, Crowder. You got Cam Johnson, Cam Payne, and JaVale coming in. So I think they continue that. I don't think there's any need to continue to rush these guys out there and really try to blow out the doors off of the Pelicans, who already aren't shooting the ball well enough to be able to hang it all with this team. Like we said, 7 for 23 from three. And I think that level of inefficiency from deep continues for a team that does not have 3-point shooters, especially when Ingram and CJ need the ball in their hands. And that means a lot more pull-up threes instead of catch and shoot, et cetera. So, just Suns to win, and if you can find a way to get some value on that, go ahead. I'm not terrified of the spread, but I think the Pellies do have a little bit better of a showing than they did last game, which was just one of the worst offensive outputs that they've had in a while. So that is all the time we have for you on a super fun Tuesday night slate. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Continue to check out all these videos with us, including that player props video we have for you today. And until we see you next, happy betting.